Hello and welcome to Warp Factor Unknown, the podcast where we delve into the world of Star Trek for an unpredictable rewatch and discussion. I'm your host Dan, and joining me today is my right-hand stargazer, Tom.
Hi everyone, pleasure to be here.
Fantastic. And we did have a few tech issues with the connecting today, but we reversed some polarity of the console and it's all fine, so we do have with us Jacob.
Hello everyone.
Fantastic, good to have you both. Today, we are talking about the Star Trek Picard episode, Bounty, Season 3, Episode 6. I think, if I remember correctly, Jacob, you was pretty happy to have Season 3 Picard.
My God, so happy. This makes such a difference compared to the last one we did. Like, that last one was awful.
It was Season 1, wasn't it, Picard?
I really just want to know what Tom thinks of this, because he's not seen... you haven't seen Picard at all, have you?
Well, strangely enough, I haven't seen many episodes of Picard at all, but I had seen this one in the past.
Excellent.
Okay. I don't know why, but this one, I think I remember the music bit, you know, when Riker's got like pitch perfect, and he perfect pitch, sorry, and he's like B flat followed by E flat, and like
F sharp. It was an F sharp.
F sharp, yeah. I was like, I remember that.
Actually, I need to go there right now before we. We're skipping on the synopsis. We'll come back to that.
Mm.
Tom, you are a musician of some descript. Is somebody saying F sharp, B flat? Is that bollocks, or can people actually do that?
There's something which is known as perfect pitch, where people can actually hear the notes that are being played and know what they are. I've never met anyone that can do that, and if I hear a note, I'm aware it's a note, but I don't know what note it is. I think it's pretty unique to be able to say that is this particular note without any context.
Riker doesn't strike me as the kind of person to have that unique skill.
No, Riker's
He does
good
play
at
the
everything.
sax, doesn't he?
He does play sax.
And he's
He
good
likes
at
jazz.
everything, so he should be able to do this, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
The story demands it.
I mean, the way he
no,
climbs over those chairs, you know?
Yeah.
It does. Okay. Anyway, before we carry on with the discussion of whatever we're going to be discussing, we're going to give you a quick recap of the episode, so those who have not watched along have some hopeful, vague idea of what the hell we're talking about. So I'm going to pass you over to Tom.
Can I just ask, Dan, are there any assignations in this synopsis?
There are not. I had a go at spelling Aromatic syndrome, and I'm like, that is just totally wrong. So I was pulling Aromatic.
Yeah. I will pause dramatically on any spelling mistake, just to let you know.
Also,
Yeah, please do. Please.
That's why you watch it in subtitles, to make sure you can get the spelling correctly of a lot of the stuff.
The episode follows Admiral Picard and the Titan crew as they continue evading Starfleet while trying to understand why the changelings are after Jack Crusher. Seeking answers, Worf, Riker, and Raffi infiltrate Daystrom Station. The station is protected by a sophisticated AI, which turns out to be a version of Data, now embedded with multiple personalities, including those of Lore, B4, and Alton Sung. Meanwhile, and on the run, Picard and the Titan crew visit the Fleet Museum, where Geordi LaForge has been maintaining historic starships. Geordi is reluctant to help at first, fearing for his family, but ultimately agrees. Picard learns that Jack has Aromatic syndrome, inherited from himself, which causes Jack to spiral. Back on the Daystrom, Riker, captured during the mission, and is held prisoner... Bloody hell, how many commas do you want? It's alright, I've nearly got it. Back on Daystrom, Riker, captured during the mission, and is held prisoner by Vadik, who has also captured Troy, and plans to use her to break Riker into betraying his friends. The episode ends when the crew learn from Data that the changeling stole Picard's human body from the station vault.
Great.
Thank
Fantastic.
you, Tom. And I would like to sincerely apologise.
That's all right.
But you are right. The sheer amount of unneeded commas in that.
I think it works.
Yeah. Oh, no. I did that one maybe like 10 minutes ago. I was like, oh shit, ChatGPT, do this thing. And ChatGPT got it mostly correct, but a lot of it was also just wrong and in completely the wrong order. Anyway. So that was my very haphazard last minute thing. Professional content here, people. We really prep and plan what we do on our podcast. We take it very seriously.
I wrote a page of A4.
Oh.
Was it your notes, are they?
Yeah. Because we work for
Okay.
this.
Oh, apparently, according to the last episode, we're getting paid now. Well,
What?
you guys are, at least, anyway.
I mean,
Paid?
Tom's. We cannot mention Tom's external activities. We already said that in the last episode.
This is true.
How many
How do we
pence
get
are we
paid?
Tom,
getting, are we getting paid?
If you could plug the podcast Tom in your other activities, that'd be great.
Oh, so you'll see our view account just like spiking out. Yeah, but how many pence is that now? Are we getting now?
Pence we're getting now, about 0.
But you said we were getting paid.
So in the last episode, Jacob joked.
Oh, I see. Oh, sorry. Yes, yeah, yeah. No, I thought it was a new bit of breaking news. No, yeah.
Oh God, no.
I remember that now.
We make 0 money here, people. This is purely a hobby. In fact, this costs us money to do.
Exactly.
Which most hobbies do. Okay. Who wants to kick us off with some of their notes? Jacob, I know you've got 1,002 notes. Do you want to start us off?
A million things.
Oh, a million
A million things. I mean, right. So maybe we'll start us back. Tom, how much of this entire series have you watched?
This episode. Oh, actually, and the first
Twice.
episode.
Okay,
Yeah.
twice.
Yeah. For some reason, the first episode and then this particular episode twice.
So, do you actually know where the story's going at all in this entire thing?
No,
No.
but I kind of get the gist of it. That there's a changeling threat. That's pretty much what I know.
Because you haven't watched DS9 either, so you don't know what the changelings are, right?
Oh, Odo's one. Apart from
Yeah.
Odo. No, because I watched up to season 5, and the main enemy changeling. I saw her, and I'm guessing it sort of leads on from that, like the confrontation in DS9, the changeling war. I guess these are
And the
It's the
Section
same sort of
31 stuff. The Section 31 bits as well.
I don't know Section 31, unfortunately.
Oh, wow. I love how Tom, you've watched DS9 up to like just before the Dominion War really kicks off,
I know.
probably the best part of DS9.
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah.
But
You basically watched
I will watch it one day.
50% terrible. Like, 50% of it is bad. Well,
Yeah.
not as good as the other 50%.
Okay, and Jacob, have you seen Picard season 3?
I've seen all of season 3 because I believe the last time we recorded, I hadn't watched it yet. And since then,
Yes, you
I did.
hadn't.
I did then watch the rest of it. And
Yeah.
what I don't think I've ever watched a TV show where they have turned it around in such a good way. Like,
Yeah, interesting.
I mean, like, everyone thinks Rings of Power season 1 is not very good, and it's not. But season 2 is then not amazingly good. Whereas like this is like one of the few shows I've seen where it's like, yeah, the previous ones are absolutely terrible, but then it's suddenly like, oh my god, where did this come from? Why is it so good now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like this is the show they wanted to write from the beginning, but
That's what I should
for
have
whatever
done.
reason didn't. Yeah. I always kind of didn't like how I'm trying to say how each Picard season was trying to be just like one long episode.
Yeah.
And I just kind of wanted the whole 3 seasons to be one long story, and particularly season 1, I wanted that to be a really personal Picard story, a Picard drama, as it were, as opposed to, oh shit, it's the end of the galaxy again.
That was
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah, I didn't quite like.
Then they did that again
but,
on season 2. Then they were like, oh, end of
And
the
season
galaxy again.
Well, and at least season 3 is only End of the Federation. That's
Yeah.
it's a bit of a down step, I suppose.
Yeah.
So it does seem to me that the modern Star Trek seems to be going that route now, where a season is a long
Yeah.
episode, whereas what drew me to Star Trek in the first place was these little mini. Well, each season had 26 adventures, which are separate, I guess.
Except Strange New Worlds, which is very episodic and phenomenal.
Yes, I must watch that.
Best show.
Not seen a single episode.
Heard good things.
You should. It's amazing. It is the best track.
Well,
it's
then-
so good.
Let's roll for that later, and then we'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might do, but then you're not going to be here because this is your second episode.
Oh.
You're getting kicked off.
Damn it. We ran out of money already. I'm getting fired.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Live on the
Your
podcast.
salary's too high.
More
Yeah.
OnlyFans.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Shit.
I wanted to bring up that because we're just sort of talking about like the overall theme of the series. I really like how the changelings came back and they're the bad guy. I think they're a good bad guy to have. They're nice. They're sort of well established in Star Trek, particularly DS9. But they're also a little bit sort of callbacky, a bit, referencey, as it were. So I really like that. However, I have a very big but off of that note.
Reveal your butt, Dan.
I will reel my butt, and hopefully I'll get some more money coming into the podcast. Man, this money talk is going to have to stay in now, isn't it? Can't get rid of it.
It's continuity now, so...
Yes.
Exactly. Okay, but I don't like how Picard, especially Season 3, is basically... It's trying to be TNG, because it is TNG. It's trying to do that. But the changelings were very much DS9, and I would have preferred the changelings to come back in some kind of later DS9-esque story, get some of the old DS9 cast together and have them do a show. And whereas in Picard, when I know Season 2 was Season 2, but at least Picard and the Borg make sense. That's Picard's big enemy thing, or when Q's around. Do you know what I mean? Can you see why my butt is there?
Yeah, but that's kind of both overdone. The other two... I know the Borg... Okay, spoiler alert, Tom. The Borg are in this season later.
That's fine. I'll still watch it.
They're the end goal enemy of the season. But they are a bit overdone, because it's whenever there is something to do with TNG, it's the Borg. Even though Voyager had the Borg more often, it's still like Picard. And every season before was like the Borg. Apart from Season 1, that was just weird. But Season 2 was also Borg. This is also Borg. Changelings, I liked because it was refreshing. It's a big main enemy that you know. And they have good motivations, why they're doing it, and why they're not the same ones from the collective. It was just for me, what completed the seasons by not just being trying to recycle the same junk. I say that rather flippantly. But I think it's also massively helped by the fact that Vadik, played by Christopher Plummer's daughter, is fantastic.
She's villain. Really good.
Yeah, really good villain. Great in the role. R.I.P. Christopher Plummer. Yeah, fantastic. The changelings, what do you think of... Sorry, Dan, what do you think of the designs?
Of the changelings?
Yeah.
Pretty nonplussed, they're fine. A lot of aliens and things got redesigned for modern Trek. Some of them I like, some of them I don't like. They're fine. They're a little bit gooey in the kind of you see blood and body bits more. I suppose it's more gory. I suppose as opposed to gelatinous that we used to see.
Silvery goop in DS9.
Yeah, fine. I don't love or hate. I think is my sort of take on that. How about you? What's your vibe on the very CGI?
Well, I was also going to ask you, what do you think about the trooper CG, the trooper changelings, because they're also in it. Not all of the changelings are in a human form, and then the bodyguard changelings are some weird trooper design.
Yeah, they're kind of weird, aren't they?
And they speak a weird alien language, which is was never established. So I always thought, when I first watched this, they're just another alien race, and not actually the changelings.
Do you know what they could have been, and what might have been better? Is obviously they mentioned later in the episode. So I'm going to bring it up now. Someone says, okay. I'll come back to it. So, in the briefing room, in the middle of the episode, Worf is talking about the Dominion War and giving a bit of context, and somebody says that in the process of that war, they weaponized some Zealot changelings. In the process of doing that biological warfare and then curing them. So that's what these changelings are. They're an offshoot. They're extremists. So it might have been better if those bodyguards had not been changelings and had been extremist Breen, because they were kind of Breen-ish, without that weird alien language, that they could have easily adapted a modernized Breen to play that, to fill that role. That'd have been cool.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
So that was
the shit from. Sorry.
with Vadik, the people that were surrounding her, they were all changelings,
Yes.
I believe most of them were.
and the one that got shot when she said enough, he was a changeling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Almost certain.
Yeah.
I wish it was subtitles, and in the subtitles it says changeling person or something.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So they are all changelings, which is not
Okay.
clear at all that they are changelings, because a changeling is typically just a human form person, or looks like a human but with a weird plasticky face.
Yeah.
Yeah. What we're talking about is it Vadik or Vedic?
Vedic.
Whatever. Well, we're talking about Christopher Plummer's daughter.
Yeah.
It's Vadik.
Vadik. Okay. While we're talking about Vadik, it is not very much in this episode. It happens twice. But I remember when I watched season 3, it ground my gears so much that every single time that spaceship came into view, it made a bwah sound. And
it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Some producer, some screenwriter, some bastard somewhere was like, it has to do a scary noise. No, it doesn't. Bugger off. I hated it. The entire... I think we watched it, me and my partner, we watched it when the whole season was out, so we kind of binged it, and it felt like every 5 minutes you was getting this, wow.
I'm here.
Did my tits in.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. Minor nitpick, but, that's what we're here for.
There's one thing I had continuity-wise, is I know in the previous part of the season, Vadik says that there's only 18 changelings, but I swear there was more than 18 this entire episode, because there's also changelings that are embedded in Starfleet, and there's all of the crew changelings.
Yeah.
And then there's her, and it's like, there can't have just been 18. There must have been more.
Yeah. And, I believe a bunch died on the Titan at some point before this episode.
Yeah, exactly. So there must have been more than 18.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was threw me a little. Otherwise, it's like, then why is all of Starfleet infiltrated? Or does Starfleet think... I can't remember if Starfleet does think that the Titan is just full of changelings. So it's like, they all think that the changelings have infiltrated Starfleet, which wouldn't make sense because there's only 18 of them. But then did the changelings trick Starfleet to just think that the Titan is just full of changelings? So then that's why they're going after them? Like, there's a continuity issue there.
Yeah.
I wasn't...
They did somehow trick Starfleet into thinking Titan's the enemy, but I don't know if they thought if they made Starfleet think because there's changelings on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't know.
I mean, most of my notes are here like nitpicks.
Yeah, mine too, actually. So, should we like play tennis, go back and forth, like a three-way tennis, or order like a nitpick together?
Can we like just maybe on the best bits just first? Let's start with the good stuff, because good stuff is. Let's celebrate the good stuff, and we can nitpick the bad shit later on. Because one of the big things for me was like we just mentioned Christopher Plummer's daughter, actors. Is Amanda Plummer?
It is Amanda Plummer. Yes.
Hey, I nailed it.
Nice.
I was going to say the captain. I fucking love the captain of the Titan.
Oh yeah. What's he really called? Can't remember. Whatever he's called, he is great. In the whole season, he's great.
Yeah.
Love him.
Is he the one that sucks up to Geordie? He's like really infatuated.
Yes,
he was good.
Yeah.
He was good.
There was rumors that he was going to head up Star Trek Legacy.
Oh.
Like, that was like going to be a sort of new, effectively a follow-on from Star Trek Picard Season 3, but it's kind of not happening now, I think.
Yeah, I think it's dead in the water.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. But Paramount are in financial trouble. Oh, who knows? Who cares?
Yeah, whatever. That's what they get for making crap.
The sympathy.
Simple as that, really. Yeah.
Also, the actor who plays young Picard, his son, I did look him up. It's Ed Spillen? I can't pronounce it properly. I thought he was great. Like, he's charismatic. Also, he's not been in much else, by the way. If you look him up, he hasn't got like a long IMDb list. I would like him if they were to like do another Picard thing, but it's him. I would be happy with that. I think he's very good.
Yeah, I mean, I like him, but I feel like it was almost like the cast, whoever was casting, tried a little too hard to find like a young Picard, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, and maybe it's just because the British accent. I don't know.
I mean, that's how I felt. Sorry, go on.
You go, no, you go. That's kind of it, really. It's like
Yeah, I was going to say that's how I
Picard.
felt. That's how I felt the first time I watched it. But having watched it now, I'm like, no, actually, he was pretty good.
Mm.
And
no.
Also, for Tom's
Actor's
sake,
great.
they do. For Tom's sake, at the end of the entire season, they do set up like, this guy's now going to be Picard.
Oh.
Because like
Picard
he's there in
Picard
his
Jr.
he's like there, and I think he's captain of a ship or something, or he's like first officer or something. So he's like clearly working his way up. He hasn't yet had his heart been stabbed by what's the race of that aliens?
Norsicans.
Norsicans. He hasn't had his Norsican fight yet. But then like he's there in his apartment, and then Q just shows up.
Oh god.
And Q's just like, now we're going to do things together. And it's like,
cool. So do you reckon he'll be back in another series? Or another
no,
different
because
spin-off?
Paramount will go down the toilet.
Ugh. Bloody Paramount.
I blame what's the director of all the Star Trek stuff? Alex Kurtzman. I blame Alex Kurtzman.
Oh yeah.
He's destroying modern Trek. Yeah, that's my view.
I do have to say, on the subject of things that were plus points in this episode, I haven't actually got many nitpicks, I have to say myself. I just really enjoyed the episode. The humour was really, really good in this episode, especially
Worf
Worf.
jokes.
Yeah, really, really liked it. Like that bit when Beverly's about to go... not Beverly, his girlfriend is about to go down to the planet. And he's trying to say, yes, these things work out well. And then she goes, I'm not going. And he goes, oh, thank God, I was actually trying to deceive you or something like that. You know the bit I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, but that was Seven, and I don't think it was his girlfriend.
Oh, shit. Right.
It was,
yeah.
it was her and Raffi, I think.
because Ruffy and Seven are a thing in season 2.
Of course they were, yeah, they did that.
Which is, again, okay, it's a weird choice. But, like, you're right, though. He makes it... I think I wrote it down. I swear I wrote one of his jokes down. But yeah, he was like, I was trying to practice being deceitful.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that was great. And he's like, thank God. And he's also like, then thank God, when there's in a battle and there's emotions and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like the design they went with Worf. I think he looks good. Like with that grey hair and grey eyebrows. Yeah, really, it works. I think out of all because obviously all the TNG crew, they're all old. Mm-hmm. They all look old. I think Worf looks the best.
And
I think
Geordie looks okay as well, I think.
Yeah, no. They all look fine. They all look like, an older version of themselves, and that. It's great.
Apart from Patrick Stewart, who looks like he could fall over.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And his voice
does look particularly
as well.
frail.
Yeah.
And he's like 90 plus. Like, how old is
Hell.
Patrick Stewart?
I don't know. He's not 90, is he?
He's in his 90s, but...
Is he?
Really
so I know, like, William Shatner's like 93, 94.
Yeah, but William Shatner is like unbelievable. Like, have you seen that man? Like, I don't know. He looks exactly
went to space like 3 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
He's great.
And he looks exactly the way he looked like when he was in that first TNG movie. Like, he's no different.
Not quite that, but yeah, he looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Anyway, I look at my notes. I'll be honest, I don't actually have much more notes that aren't nitpicks.
Patrick Stewart's
so
84.
I'm afraid I can't really join in. But let's do some nice comments.
No,
haven't got any.
Patrick Stewart's 84. I was mistaken.
Wow.
84,
and how about Kirk? Or William Shatner?
93.
Bloody hell.
Actually, on Paramount Plus, there is actually a fairly recent William Shatner documentary. I think it's called "You Can Call Me Bill," and it's really good. It's just a sit-down interview with him. Talks about his life. Talks about this. Talks about that. Yeah, it's really good.
Cool.
It's worth a watch if that's your vibe.
I assume Bill is like short term for William.
Yeah, for William. Yeah.
It's very American.
Sort of like how Dick is a short for Richard.
Yeah, but that's Dick.
Dick. Yeah.
Have you seen that Cyanide and Happiness?
I hope that stays in.
Cyanide and Happiness sketch. Plate of dick,
No,
plate of dicks. Enjoy your dicks. It's so good.
We're gonna have to reference that, Tom, as we go along. So you have
Definitely.
To
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't ruin my podcast audio, please.
Well,
I just feel like it's exactly you bring me on for like these 2 episodes just for me and Tom to
Yeah.
effectively work together to ensure
Dick
that
about, no sabotage. Yeah.
so you have to
Thank you.
keep
Thank you very
certain
much.
clips in
yeah.
jokes.
It's got to be a continuity.
Like I don't mind. It's just whether our listeners, whether they find your stupid humor.
Oh, they will.
Funny.
They will.
You know, that, I'm
Absolutely.
sure they will. So
How do you
they're
think-
really good.
How do you think you got 700 odd views in the last year? I don't know.
It's because of humour like this, though.
I know.
Yeah, highbrow. It's highbrow.
Quality humor.
Yeah. Right, nitpicks then, I guess.
Sounds like you guys have like an abundance of nitpicks.
Okay, fine. I'll start us off with a nitpick. At the beginning of the episode, when the Titan has dropped a space beacon, like a decoy.
Oh, I had exactly the same note. I know what you're gonna say.
I'm saying it, they're not you. I'm having this nitpick. The 3 Starfleet ships warp in to the thing, and they were like 10 feet away from the beacon, all facing each other. It's like, what? Again, what producer or screenwriter put that shitty scene in? What is that?
If they timed that
It looks
a
stupid.
fraction of a second wrong, they would have all collided with each other.
Yeah, that is a huge incident right there.
Yeah.
3 starships crashing. Oh my god. So that was my first nitpick.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant. I had exactly
Yeah.
the same thing. We'll do one
I
at a
didn't
time
actually.
then, I guess.
I didn't notice that one.
Yeah, we'll go around the table.
Go around the table. Because I know what happens with the Uromadic syndrome. So, to fill you in, Tom, Uromadic syndrome is like because Picard became Locutus.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, that's the way that this story explains it. That's why they're after him. Or his son, because they both have an Uromadic syndrome. And so they need it to, like, interface with the Borg somehow, for some reason.
I see.
So, it's this... Because in TNG, they're like, oh yeah, you've got Uromadic syndrome. But you explain it as if it's, like, already a thing. So, are there others with Uromadic syndrome? Or, like, is it just him and he's got his own disease named after him? Or... I need a bit
completely
of, like...
agree. I agree, but in the TNG episode when he discovered he's got that, it's almost like, oh yeah, you've got early onset Alzheimer's kind of. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, oh, it's just like you got diabetes. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a fairly reasonably common disease.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out and guess and say that they need Picard because he has the disease and he's ex-Borg, and those two things combined are like the magic key.
But they also need...
Which is bollocks, but it works.
Yeah, they also need his son, because he's also apparently... Because they try and steal him in the first place, then they end up just being like, well, we'll just take Picard's body.
Okay. Tom, have you got a nitpick?
No, I was racking my brains and looking at my review notes, but I just cannot.
Well, do you want to come in with like a good note or anything? I mean, I'll happily nitpick away if you let me out.
It was nice to see Moriarty again.
Ooh, good call.
Because he is actually the Moriarty from TNG, isn't he not?
Yeah, I do really like they got the same actor. That is
Daniel Davis.
Next level. That is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
So I thought that was
being
good.
Old.
He doesn't seem like he's changed.
He looks good for being old.
that much.
I thought he would be like dead, to be honest, because he looks old in TNG. Like, and that was the 80s. That was 30 years ago.
That's the 80s. The 80s were a wild time.
Yeah.
A lot of cocaine.
Another plus point I thought was when the song that Data's singing and Riker's trying to figure out the sort of melody to all the notes of it. It is Pop Goes a Weasel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the notes that Riker's attempting to. I just thought that was quite cool.
Yeah.
E flat followed by F sharp minor seventh. Yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah.
So I liked that part as well.
Yeah. Good little reference.
I actually have another point that Tom could have used here. Do you like? There's that scene where they're like gathering at the screen and they're talking about the Uromadic syndrome, and then because he's talking to Beverly, it's like they had sex. Like Picard had sex with Beverly. The fact that Picard had sex.
Yeah.
And like the best part is like they would have like conceived Jack fairly late in their life. If that I don't quite know like the dates and how old the characters are supposed to be, but the impression I get is like this is 50 plus.
Yeah.
which I think is pretty interesting. But in Star Trek, you can have kids later in life.
I'd like to know what episode that happened in.
Banged.
Yeah.
When they bang, yeah.
'Cause
Well,
probably
hang
would have
on.
been pre-Borg, do you reckon, or after Borg?
Definitely after Borg.
Post-Borg.
After Borg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, well, it has to be because that's how Jack Crusher got neuromatic syndrome.
Of course.
But just trying to think about it. So, Crusher is 21 in this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, how many years is Picard?
Yeah,
how many years is Picard?
How
set
old is
after
Admiral
TNG?
Picard? I don't know. I've asked for Genius, which is ChatGPT, because it was
Okay.
right there in front of me.
Yeah, we don't do AI
So-
on this podcast. We don't do AI.
It's a great tool. Okay, so
AI's in this episode.
Star Trek. So Picard was born in 2305, and season 3 takes place in 2401. That makes him 96 years old.
Wow.
So if Jack was 21,
Jesus, that's late.
yeah, Picard's getting his rocks off pretty,
Yeah.
pretty old.
Well, I mean,
Obviously, it's obviously men remain fertile, pretty much. consistently,
Beverly is probably
forever.
like, how young is Beverly compared to how old is Beverly Crusher? Not the actor, but the character.
I'm asking ChatGPT. Let's find out.
Because Picard looks like he's 40 or 50 in the show, like
Okay,
as the captain.
Fine. So she was born 2324, and this is set 2401. So she's 76. So she would have been
Yeah, like
mid to late 50s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is still, in the world of like today, 21st century, that's old, not impossible, but really unlikely.
Mm.
So in Star Trek, it's kind of interesting to see that, medical technology has sort of progressed, but it's, fairly easy, should we say, for someone mid to late 50s to conceive.
But that means like
Interesting stuff.
Beverly would have actually been like, I'm going to have sex with Picard and also have an operation to make sure I can actually conceive.
Well, would she have needed an operation?
Well, I mean, if it's not natural, then you should have had to have done something to help, like, medically make the process happen, right?
But maybe she had
Well,
that
why wouldn't-
before everything.
Yeah.
Oh no, I just sort of mean that in Star Trek it would be case because, life expectancy is longer, people are healthier, so it just sort of means, I'm just assuming and guessing that women can remain fertile longer. Maybe there is some sort of mental, who knows?
I would have thought,
How do we
yeah.
know? We're just three white guys doing shit talking about Star Trek pregnancies over there.
It's an interesting point. I mean, you know that characters in Star Trek, like, because in the first episode ever of TNG, the Admiral, who, I don't know how he was linked, but he was linked to some original series or something. But he was like,
You mean Bones?
That was Bones. Ah,
That's
okay.
Bones. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's like 116 or 120 or whatever he is.
I thought it was like 140 or something. But yeah, he's fucking old.
Yeah. Whatever. He's really
Yeah.
old. Exactly.
That
So
was
people live longer.
Bones. Then why does he
Yeah.
look so shit and yet Scotty looks so young?
Because Scotty was in a transporter for 70 years.
Ah.
He was like suspended in animation, whereas Bones was, just old.
Ah, okay.
Okay. Nitpicking. What have we got? Vadik says when she's like on her bridge and she's like, the plan's kind of falling apart and there's like a backup plan. She's like, I want you to hunt down every person that Picard's ever known, every
Yeah.
acquaintance, family, loved one. And I'm like, that's thousands of people. The man's a million years old. He's got so many friends and that's a lot. You've got 3 days.
Yeah.
That's a long old list. You got no chance. You need to narrow that down. You need to like focus your search a little bit. So I thought that was stupid.
But good. Dramatic.
Yeah, but I had a different take. Why didn't you do that in the first place?
I know, right? Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Also that.
why are you saying it now?
Mm.
Yeah. Okay.
That was my note.
Jacob, have you got a nitpick?
Yeah, I do. Why would the Federation allow Daystrom to exist?
Okay, I thought it was kind of weird because my understanding is that Daystrom Institute was just like a research arm of Starfleet, and they just do general R&D and whatever. And that Section 31 is the secret black site. So why does Daystrom have a secret black site? Surely it should be like Section 31 headquarters. I don't.
But then
Get
how would they
it.
know where the Section 31 headquarters is? 'Cause it's
Exactly. They talk about 31 and Daystrom as they're like interchangeable, but they're not, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, they are separate.
Exactly. Daystrom should be good.
But you have, like, why would the Federation allow this site, which would have this dangerous teleporting technology, as well as many other artifacts that I'll get into, to exist, and then it gets robbed?
They put all their trust in AI. There's something telling there about what we're doing with humanity. Skynet's coming for your kids.
Yeah, but they do.
Yeah, no,
that's not entirely true. Yeah, that's not entirely true because they do say there's people on the station beforehand, and it only became just AI afterwards. But yeah,
that's a good point. While we're talking Daystrom, I don't know if you guys use Reddit, but there was a subreddit called r/Daystrom Institute.
Oh, really?
And it's a subreddit which is just people ask questions and get answers sort of from within Star Trek.
Oh, nice.
So it's like,
okay,
you have to answer it within like the lore of Star Trek, and it's it's fun, it's interesting, and they try and be really really clever about it. Anyway, if that's your
I'm looking at it up now.
It's my vibe apparently. I love it.
So for Tom's sake, Daystrom, like Section 31 was like mostly DS9 towards the end, and it was like this one actor who's like a character actor who is always like the main agent, and he tries to recruit Bashir because Bashir, it turns out, is genetically modified, which is illegal, and so he wants Bashir to join him for Section 31. And he just periodically shows up every now and again being like, now we're doing this evil thing, and Bashir's like,
because we're evil.
Yeah, because we're evil, even though we're doing it for the good. And Bashir's like, no, and he's like, I'm going to tell Starfleet about you, and they're like, go ahead, we don't care, lol. Here's a virus, we're going to give it to Odo. Oh wait, no, shit, they're all dying, we better try and save them. That's basically.
And Daystrom are just like they are just like a research institution, as far as I'm aware.
Like an android, like data.
Well,
just
no,
for data,
I assumed that the android thing was just like a section of that. They have just like a whole department around robotics and androids, but they also have, biological sciences. Or, they have like a whole room which just looks in nebulas kind of thing. You know what I mean? That's how I always took it. Okay, so my nitpick, the bar scene, where Jack Crusher, he's realised, he's been told he's got aromatic syndrome, and he's getting trashed. He's like 3 or 4 whiskeys deep. Picard comes in, they have another whiskey, and he is drunk. He is completely sozzled. And my interpretation was of this episode is that it takes place over like 6 hours at most, just a few hours. It's not a very long episode. Yet later in the episode, he's completely sober, no issues, not slurring his words, not throwing up, and he's only drunk for this one several second scene. Makes no sense. That's my nitpick.
Well, he's not necessarily drunk because he doesn't look drunk.
He looks pretty drunk.
Does he?
He does drunk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's future. It's future, right?
He
Fast
does,
alcohol.
He does. Nah, he does the whole barman leave the bottle kind of thing. That's classic like storytelling. He's drunk. Maybe he's not, but
I think that particular scene section was over 24 hours because they say it's 72 hours to
oh shit, they do
the celebration day or whatever it is, and then later on when it's only like a few scenes later they're like, now it's 48 or 42 or whatever.
Oh, they do. Fine, he should still be hungover. Okay, whatever. Okay, Jacob, tennis back to you. Give us your nitpick.
When they go to the Daystrom Institute, they hide behind a moon.
They do hide behind the moon. Classic Star Trek.
How is that going to stop the sensors?
Because sensors can't go through moons.
Yeah, but then they're, like the relative distance in the scene is like it's really close.
Yeah, and if you're right, if you're going to build a super secret base, don't have it where there's this massive blind spot 2 miles off the port bow. Yeah, love it.
Good stuff.
Okay, so this is not necessarily a nitpick. It's more like I actually quite liked it, but I don't like how they didn't capitalize on it. So, in this season of Picard, Worf is a pacifist, and I fucking love that. I think that's so cool.
That is so good.
I was like, what a great idea for this character to suddenly stop fighting. But they don't do it. They don't he fights all the time in this season.
Reluctantly.
It's really annoying.
Reluctantly.
No, I still think they could have written it in a way and shown it in a way where he actually does not have a back left, doesn't have a phaser, doesn't shoot it. Such a good idea, and they didn't do it. You cowards. Bastards.
I agree.
Otherwise, I love it.
Yeah, I agree. It does feel that he did it.
He should have been a pacifist.
It does feel that he did pacifism so it could be a joke.
Yeah, it was a joke. Exactly. It was
Because what was it Picard said? Worf said. Riker said.
Riker.
And he said, "Are you serious?" He said, "I said it, didn't I?" That was about his pacifism, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I thought that was good.
Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna keep the microphone for nitpicks. It's exactly that. Riker, as much as I love Riker, in this episode, all he is quips and one-liners. He has no substance.
Well, he's too old to go over. He's too old to go over a chair.
Yeah.
Well, no, that he just quips, which is great. His quips are really good and they're really funny. But I don't think he has one actual sentence. The whole episode is just quip.
I think he has stuff later on.
I'm joking. Yeah, he does. But he's mostly quip.
Quick, that's all Riker is, though. One-liners.
Yeah.
He's the lesser Kirk of TNG. Well, that's what the character was originally written for, right? We needed a Kirk, but we don't want him to be the captain, so we'll have Riker.
Yeah. And then they brought on Pulaski to be Bones in it.
I liked Pulaski.
Me too, she was great.
But I still prefer Crusher. That's surprisingly... Oh, I guess the actor who plays Pulaski's dead, so they couldn't bring her back.
Is she? Is Diane Mulder?
She's not, is she?
I believe she's alive. Hang on. Born 1939. Yep, not dead. 86.
Oh, wow. Okay. So they could have brought her back.
They could have, but she's 86 and maybe she's not acting no more.
Yeah. Well, they... Yeah,
so according to Wikipedia, years present, years active is still now, still present.
Oh, that's weird.
Well, money. I mean, they bring back Ro Laren. They don't bring back
Pulaski. They do bring back Ro Laren, which is a great character.
Yeah.
They brought back Ro.
I do think that someone mentioned earlier that it would be good to have DS9 included, and wouldn't it been amazing if they had another series of Picard, but actually had Sisko and Janeway come on as captains as well?
Oh, there's rumours. I've been seeing rumours that what's the actor for Janeway?
Kate Mulgrew.
Kate Mulgrew is I know she's got the other TV show which you guys have watched, Prodigy.
Mm-hmm.
She does voiceover for that, but there was rumours going around that she's going to do some live action stuff. So
I heard that too.
Yeah, maybe.
I think she'd be good for it. Yeah.
And Sisko can't come back because he was convicted of drunk driving.
I mean, actors have done worse.
Sisko is. Did you say Sisko? What? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, he was.
But I think Avery Brooks has been not acting for a long time and has showed no interest in returning to Star Trek for the best part of 20 years.
I don't think he does.
Coming back is basically impossible.
He doesn't do cons or anything either, so.
No, he's not engaged in I think he's a very private individual. Actually, did you see? I'm going to another documentary. That documentary that William Shatner made, about the captains, and he went and interviewed all the Star Trek captains.
Did he?
And he did, and it's really good. And he goes and visits Avery Brooks, who is on another planet. He is out of this world insane. It's fantastic. I don't think he's on drugs or anything, but he could be. He just talks really nonsensical and really sort of airy and artsy. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's really hard to describe. Put your finger on it. It's really good.
He did go to the wormhole space god people. Heaven.
He did also.
So that's where he's living.
Jesus.
Yeah, that is where he's living right now.
Yeah, in the wormhole.
Yeah.
Nitpick. Why the whole? I know this is going to be a really reaching one, but the whole story of Sungs, plural, because I lost track of which Sung this is that's mentioned in this one, and I don't know the name of the original one, but it's just a human guy who's I'm going to create this so fucking advanced android that nobody else for like 100 years can figure out how to make another one. And then he like makes multiple of them all to come down and get this one now, which is then made by, I guess, his like grandson or something. How does that guy do it? Like,
I have no idea what the fuck's going on with these data songs. I don't get it.
like this.
I don't understand.
Uh,
It's too much. It's too much, man.
What's his name? Alson Sung?
Isn't it Noonian? Or was that the first one?
That's the
That's
first
the
one.
That's the original,
I think
yeah.
this is Alton. Yeah, I haven't a clue, mate. You're on your own.
Like,
And if any of our listeners knows what the hell's going on with these songs, let us know. Drop us a line.
yeah, and then you go on Memory Alpha, and it's like Dr. Noonian Sung is the father, siblings, and it's then it's weird 'cause it's like siblings. So B4, Law, Data, and prototype androids. Other relatives.
That's not how siblings
No,
work.
I know, it's so weird described. Then there's like Adam Sung and Eric Sung. Here's another one. Who's Lol? I forgot who Lol was.
That Data's daughter, yeah.
Ah, yeah. Because here it describes her as a other relative, a niece, which would make sense, I guess.
Yeah, it needs to make sense. If we're making androids, blood relatives, I guess.
Also, he has Sung has a pet called Spot too.
Huh.
Well, Data had a pet cat, didn't he, Spot?
Yeah, so there's that 3. So did Olsen Sung, he's the son of Noonian Sung who made Data. So was he alive during the period where Data was alive in TNG?
Haven't a clue. Can't help you. No, I honestly have no idea.
Nitpick over.
Yeah, the nitpick is there's too many Datas, too many sons.
Yeah. Now, because I can tangent now. Now.
Well, I still have some nitpicks. I can
you got
breeze through
nitpicks?
if you like.
No.
They're really quick. They're
Do
really
the
quick.
nitpicks. I think I've...
I'm gonna. My 3 quick nitpicks are: the Space Museum. Geordie mentions hundreds of thousands of visitors per day. It looks pretty empty to me.
Does he?
You
That
don't
sounds
see
like a tourist destination.
I know he doesn't. You don't see anyone else. No other like shuttles coming and going. It looks really quiet for a very busy museum. No, that was a quick one. Okay,
No. I got a quick follow up. What ship do you think is going in the empty slot?
Oh, hang on. I'll think on that and come back to you. I'll need a moment. I'll come back to you. During one of the shots of the Data, the Brent Spiner, old Brent Spiner is Data. Brent Spiner is not being very still. You can very clearly see him breathing and moving because he's I thought it was really good. Love that. And the last nitpick. At one point, Geordie says to Jack Crusher, "And stay away from my daughter." I hate that joke.
Yeah.
I hate that trope. I hate like the parent telling kids. It's not fun. Don't like it. Nitpick. Let them do what young people are going. But not even that. It's not even like they're teenagers. They're both adults. Still like in their 20s.
Well,
Okay, that's all my nitpicks done. Jacob, you had something.
well, we've done a lot. Tom, do you want to bring up anything more before I move on
Tom,
to my my game?
I think my lack of knowledge of this series as a whole is making it so I don't have any nitpicks about it. I love the episode as a standalone thing, but I have literally no other opinions on this episode, unfortunately. Still, it was good.
You enjoyed it, which is the
I loved it.
important thing.
I loved it, yeah. Really good. It's nice to see Geordie and Data and
I look
Ro.
forward to your review. I do look forward to your
Yeah.
review.
Oh, you want to wait until mine. I'm gonna lay down some stuff.
But no, I'm happily go on to your nitpicks, Jacob.
No, I think we're onto a game now.
Now, you'll like this, Tom. I have mentioned many a times on this podcast your expertise of Star Trek and how you've watched every single one.
Okay, no. I have said many times that I have watched every episode of Star Trek. I have never once said I'm an expert. A nerd, yes. Expert, no.
Tom, what's your opinion
get
on
out
that?
there.
He definitely knows a lot of stuff, right?
Yes. Yeah, I'd say a bit of both.
Right. So, now we can test his knowledge. So, name that starship. So, we're going to play... I sent you a picture, a still, of the Space Museum. And I want you to name all of the ships.
Many ships.
Or as many ships as you can at the Stardock. Also, just pointing out, this is a massive space station for just Geordie and his daughter to be at, by the way.
Exactly. Hundreds of thousands of people, Jacob. Where are they?
Oh, it's also Space Dock 15.
Yeah. Okay. There's a bird of prey, which I assume is the one they mentioned. It's the one from Star Trek 4, Star Trek Wales, best movie.
Star Trek Wales.
There's...
Star Trek Wales.
Yeah.
Not the country.
The one where they get the whales.
Yeah.
It's
not the country Wales.
No.
Yeah. There's another older Klingon ship. I want to say D9 cruiser. Don't quote me on that. That ship there. I'm going from center left. The next ship along might be Archer's Enterprise. It might be the NX-01.
Oh, you're right. That is the NX-01.
Don't know.
I could not figure that out. Yeah, that was the NX-01.
The one up from that at 9 o'clock. Haven't a clue. Next one across. I want to say Miranda class. I think I'm wrong on that one. It's got like a bit of a additional bit on the top. Going round, that's Voyager. Round again. I'll be honest, it looks like, so we're sort of like kind of like 1 o'clock now. It looks like the Enterprise from the 2009 Trek. It looks like the Abrams Enterprise, but it can't be.
Is it not? Is it not? I know that they say that E later on in the season the E is destroyed, but it looks like the E.
It's not the E. The E's more pointy. Going around, having a clue. That's the Constitution class at like 3 o'clock. The one below. Is that the Stargazer? I don't know, but I thought the Stargazer.
Oh, yeah, because it's got 4 nacelles.
It's got 4 nacelles. Then background more towards the beginning. That's a really old Romulan warbird. I think you see them in like the original series and also Enterprise, I think. And then the one at the bottom, I guess, is... Yeah, the one at the bottom, I guess, is also... Is that the Enterprise refit? The Constitution? I don't know. Do you know what? I did better there than I thought. I at least had a few guesses on some of them.
You also missed the Defiant.
Where is the Defiant? I can't see it.
I don't think they actually ever show it. It might be in the bottom left of the still, but I don't...
Yeah, you can't see it on that still. But yeah, it's there.
But,
and also, spoilers, the Enterprise D's somewhere in there as well.
What picture is this?
That. It's in our chat.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yes,
oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's in the chat. I thought you had seen it. You can see all of the different like ship classes.
Mm-hmm.
But what's its original name, Dan?
What the Defiant?
Yeah.
Got a clue. I don't know.
Well, the Defiant was destroyed. So what's this Defiant?
It was. Hang on. Oh shit! It was. What was it? Yeah, I don't know. Don't know.
The Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo? Yeah, no, I never would have got that.
Also, I think the D is actually inside the Stardock.
Yeah, I think Geordie's fixing up, isn't he? Anyway, yeah, that was
well
my...
done. Well done.
Better than I thought. How was you on that? As you was watching the episode, did you clock many of those?
I struggled because I knew there was a lot of older stuff, and there's 2 ships in particular on there that I was not... Like, you say it was like the Constitution class, but you're right, they look more like Abrams.
Yeah, one of them definitely does.
I reckon they are. They just... Yeah.
Is it like they have that bit where Seven is like, she brings up a few of the ships, and you can like the Constitution class and Voyager, and there's all you get some nice close-up shots. But I kind of wanted a slightly closer shot of those screen grabs you've given those wide shots, because you really can't see many of the ships in great detail.
Yeah, there's 2 there that are
that's
weird.
what I'm here for.
There are 2 there that are definitely very strange, and I don't know what they are. But you got the one that I didn't get, the NX-01, because I was like, that ship's really small. What the hell is it? And it's like, yes, it must be the NX-01.
I didn't get it until I was going round doing this, and I was like, that could be it. That's what it must be. Which I love that. I like these ones. The Archer's one's still there.
Now we can go on to the final round. Bonus round.
Oh god, shit.
What did you see in the Daystrom Institute?
Oh, that.
everybody?
Oh god. Well, why don't you do it? You tell us what you saw.
So I saw Genesis 2 device.
Yep.
What's that from?
Star Trek Wrath of Khan.
Khan!
I think I'm pretty sure that the Genesis device is the terraforming thing. I think.
Have you seen this, Tom?
Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
I've seen their film. Yeah. Really good.
Okay, so
It's really good.
you're both well clued up. I don't know what it does.
It's a terraforming device
Okay. Why is it bad and locked away?
because it can terraform a whole planet even if there's life on there.
Oh. So
It's basically a doomsday weapon, essentially. So yeah, mass destruction if used improperly.
So what happened to the first one?
Maybe that was a prototype. Maybe it is, I don't know. This is I don't know. Don't know.
Kirk's body is in there.
Yeah, which is kind of weird because why do they need to keep Kirk's body in
So-
a black site?
I did look this up. Apparently, somebody on Reddit was saying there is Picard's, Kirk's, and Archer's body, but I don't see the reference to Archer.
No.
But on this Reddit post, this guy said, well, they'd probably keep Kirk's body because he went to that magical place in the sky.
The Nexus?
The Nexus.
Yeah, maybe.
So it's got some weird
Yeah.
Nexus stuff.
Nexus juice.
Nexus juice. And then they kept Archer's body if it's actually there. So people were also saying I didn't see it, but if they kept Archer's was because he did wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff.
Oh, he did. But then everyone did that. Like, they all went back and forth in time. It's just like
Yeah.
Tuesday for Star Trek.
Yeah, that's true.
Time traveling.
The time travel police.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
could say it.
stupid thing.
Temple investigations. I think they're really
Stupid.
cute. I think they're funny. I think they're great. I love them.
There was a Borg thing in there, but I couldn't. Like when you look at the screen and they see Kirk's body, like in the background, there's something that says Borg something, but I don't know if it said transwarp conduit or something. There is a Borg thing contained there in the Data
makes sense.
Institute. I don't know what it was. And then finally we get Tribbles.
Attack Tribbles.
Attack Tribbles.
Because I didn't think normal tribbles did that, but those ones do.
I thought they just
Mutated
multiplied a
Tribbles.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's obviously contained.
Tom, did you see the Tribbles episode?
Yes. Yeah. Both the original Series 1 and the DS9 one.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've only
really
seen the DS9 one.
Have you guys seen Star Trek Short where they have tribbles?
Yes.
No,
It's really good.
that's coming up later. No.
Yeah. Oh, it's really, really good. It's got the guy who voices Bob's Burger and Archer and stuff. He's fantastic. Funny.
Benjamin something.
Yes, John Benjamin.
John Benjamin.
Who also, if any of our humongous listener audience has never listened to John Benjamin's jazz albums, listen to his jazz albums. It's the funniest thing.
Okay.
They're so funny. He made this jazz album. He made a couple. I think the first one. He got a professional jazz band together to play some jazz songs, and he's going to play piano, but he doesn't know how to play piano, and he just wails on the piano the entire album. It's really funny. I love it. Yeah, so check out John Benjamin's. I think it's called Jazz Daredevil. Yeah, really funny.
Just if we're doing a quick shout out
Yeah.
as well. Also,
Yeah.
everybody watch Invincible because guy
Is that
Worf,
that cartoon?
Yeah, it's really good.
It's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, it's really, really,
really
good.
good.
Yeah.
But Michael Dorn is in it as Black Samson. Yeah, I think he's doing Black Samson. Love Michael Dorn.
Excellent. Yeah.
He's doing good stuff.
Yeah, and that show is great. Okay, how are you guys doing on notes? Because I'm personally ready to move to the wrap up.
Yeah. Me
Yeah.
too.
Okay. I would like to wrap up last because I have quite a wrap up. So, why don't you guys go first?
Well, if I go first, because mine will be a very quick and short thing. Nice. Right, so I'll just refer to my notes here.
Final thoughts.
Sorry,
IMDb.
Quickly, I got it wrong. He's not Black Samson. He's Battle Beast, which is even cooler.
Oh,
yeah.
Battle
He's
Beast.
the cat who just utterly wails on Viltrumites, and he's like, "War." He's basically playing Worf. So.
Well, I love this episode because I didn't understand much of what was going on. And for that reason, I actually watched it with more, I don't know, it just gave me a new perspective on not knowing anything. So I like the fact that, who's the person that on the Shrike? Is it Vadik? Vadik. Yeah. Vadik.
Yes.
She was amazing, and I didn't know she was Chris Plummer's daughter, but that just enhances things even more. I just loved her sort of her menacing presence and the sort of the violence that drips with every word she says. I thought she was really good in it. So she was a highlight. It was nice to see Geordie again, and Worf, and who's the other one that was Picard's love interest?
Crusher.
Plays a flute. Ro.
No, that was not his love interest.
Oh, really? I'm sure Ro was.
No,
That's
Ro
apprentice.
was
Apprentice love interest. Okay, yeah. So,
so
she was really good.
Tom fanfictioning over here.
And Moriarty, of course. We can't forget Moriarty. Yeah. I also like the humour in this episode. There's a couple of instances where Worf is sort of... it's all to do with Worf, but I think it was nice that he's the comedic sort of focus in this episode, whereas normally he's not.
Would you say he's just like the best representation of Worf in any Star Trek show?
Would I say what? This Worf?
Like this was the best representation of what Worf is.
I guess so, because he seems to have become more neutral in his viewpoint. He's not out for violence anymore, is he? He's more of a pacifist, which is, I guess that's...
Because it's also like in TNG, he's just a character. It's just like, fire the missiles. And that's all he does.
Yeah.
And most of his episodes suck. But then he's expanded on a bit in DS9, but in here it's like, they did it. This is exactly what Worf should be written like. Yeah.
No, I really like Worf in this. I wouldn't say he's my favourite. I think DS9 is probably where he's my favourite. But he's very good in this.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. He's still very good in DS9.
So yeah, that wraps up my my review.
And an IMDb.
If I was going to IMDb this one, I would say 7.2.
Conservative.
Okay, Jacob, take it away.
Quick nitpick to end. I don't like that how there's randomly a changeling that's her hand, and it talks to her, but they're both changelings? Or is the changeling not fully Amanda Plummer? I don't know. It's a bit weird.
I never got that anyway.
And they never
understood how it was going on.
Yeah, and then she just dies and they never wrap it up. So that kind of annoyed me. But anyway, that's my review of Star Trek Picard Season 3. I really loved this episode. It's very good. This is, like we said before, this is exactly what Star Trek Picard should have been from the beginning. You bring in an old cast, they have a good laugh, they go on one final romp through the galaxy, and they encounter the Borg. Spoiler alert. This is just a great episode. I mean, most of our notes we're discussing are just minor points. That's really says it all, only nitpicks. So I would give this an 8.5.
Very good.
Wow,
very good.
Really high. Okay. Hold on to your butts.
I'm holding.
Hold it, okay. And don't come at me.
But
But I didn't like this episode.
Fuck you.
I know. Yeah. Bear with me. I'm going to try and justify why. And I did like it. I did like all the things that we've discussed, today. I mean, all those points, even with nitpicks, been really good. I really enjoyed talking about it. However, I just felt this episode was just like, oh look, here's Worf. Oh look, there's Geordie. Oh, look, Data. Oh my god, look, some old starships. There's Tribbles. There's Moriarty. Oh my god, look at all this cool TNG stuff. Don't you love TNG? Don't you love Star Trek? Look how much we know how much you like Star Trek. Look at all this stuff. Isn't it cool? Oh my god. I felt this episode, was all nostalgia and no substance. Nothing really happens. It just, they break onto a thing, they get Data. Nothing happens. They don't do anything. But I don't think if you watch this whole season that this episode would advance the plot that much. I think it's quite a short thing, and I think it was just them just doing a nostalgia trip. And I remember when I first watched it, I loved it. It was great. I loved seeing all the old stuff. But on this rewatch, I was like, cool, great. Can we have an actual real show, please, where you're not just relying on shit from the 90s? Come on, give me something more. So I loved it, but I also didn't like it. I know. So
Terrible
opinion.
So my entire quiz about what starship is this and what's in the data ministry. I fucking hated that the entire hour of the podcast.
I loved it. I did really like it, but also like as an episode of Star Trek, I didn't like it. Which is why I'm gonna give it a whole whopping 4.
4?
Whoa, 4? I'm sorry, you rated Star Trek Picard, the previous one we did in the bonus episode, higher than this. What are you doing?
That is a bit extreme.
Two things on that. Back when we did that episode, I was sort of more in line with like IMDb's kind of meta, as it were. Trying to break out of that where, like, 4 is fine, 7 is good, fine, 8 is really good. You know what I mean? I'm trying to like branch out my scoring a little bit. But also, like, I don't know, like that episode that we did before with Picard, I felt it gave me more things to talk about, more things to think about. We had that great, I personally had a great conversation with myself and nothing else, you, Jacob, about like communicating nuclear storage over the eons. And what else did we talk about that I really enjoyed? I can't remember. Moving stars. How the hell do you move the stars? And I really enjoyed those conversations.
That was bullshit.
I didn't quite get...
The only good part about that previous episode was the fact that they did the hologram like multiple times and he had different personalities. And that was the only good bit.
Again, so in some ways, like that episode was not a good episode of Star Trek, but I enjoyed it more because I got to think and talk about it and for different... Like, I'm not saying my scoring system's perfect, because it ain't. And I'm not saying my opinion of this episode is particularly good, because I don't think it is. But watching it, last night, I was like, it's fine, great. I see all the cool stuff. The episode was like 80% just look at cool shit. That's what it was. That's what I felt. So
yeah, well we're all entitled to our opinion, as wrong as they may be.
Even though it's wrong. So I can tell you the IMDb score if you want.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, you really lost this one, by the way. It was an 8.9 out of 10.
8 point.
What?
Yeah. It's just fanboying.
That's with 5,126 reviews.
Yeah.
Pretty
fanboys.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the thing. I had that note, and I was just going to bring up just like a general note how I didn't like the episode because of all this crap. And I was like, no, I'm not going to mention it until the very end because I didn't want to like derail the conversation. I wanted to have like a normal conversation with you guys before I go whomp with a fucking baseball bat.
Yeah.
This episode's crap. So I knew you'd hate me for it.
Yes, I do.
Okay, fine. We're gonna move along from that very quickly. At the very divisive topic.
Just last point. You like Discovery more than you like.
Like it's not. It's not about like. It's kind of. One isn't necessarily better than the other. It's just like how I enjoyed it on the day.
Yes.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. Okay, we're going into choosing another episode. So Tom, if you could start getting your thing ready. Now, Jacob, you're not going to be here because you're being fired from this podcast. I
am being fired. Yeah. I made too much derogatory comments behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I am getting banned.
Yeah. It's something about money. Jacob, you'll probably come back later in this season because we got like the last couple episodes where we're not too sure we're doing hosts. So there's a reasonable chance you'll be back. But if you're not, we'll see you in some bonus episodes.
Because I can actually film more bonus episodes now, so
Yeah, exactly.
we could have way more.
We can't have more bonus episodes than there are actual episodes. We can't do that.
I do like we could just spin off a completely tangential series.
If you want to start like a Stargate podcast, or we can do that.
I kind of have not gone. Oh, just a slight thing. I have not gone back to Stargate for so long now that I've got to the point where it's like, nah, I can skip it. To be honest.
Yeah, fair enough.
You guys will be surprised
so
to realise I actually have never watched Stargate either.
Oh my god!
I know.
Right, well, it's time. New podcast.
Yeah.
We're not doing warp factor. We're not doing warp factor unknown. We're doing gate to the unknown. There you go.
Like Sevon Shevon locked. Is that a question?
What else could be?
Yeah.
Can you like Guauld How can you rephrase Guauld? Like
every episode you have to say Guauld in like a different pronunciation. I love it. Okay, fine. I'm doing some rules for episode selection.
Yeah.
We do watch two-parters. We don't watch whole story arcs. If we get the same episode, we'll go up or down. We can't have the previous selection, so we can't watch Picard again. We can't watch the same show twice, so this season is so far so good. Tom, do you want to take us away with a selection?
Okay, rolling will now be happening. So we have 12 possible series we can watch, and I'm now going to roll the dice. 12.
Oh, excellent.
Which gives us Voyager.
Voyager.
Ooh.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Back to Voyager, which I believe will be our second Voyager this season, which means second Voyager.
Yeah.
That's it. No more Voyager.
Cool.
Excellent.
All right.
Right. Yeah, one of the later seasons.
Yeah.
I don't like the like the Kazon.
Do you not like the early stuff? Like
Some's good. There's some really good stuff. There's some really good stuff in stuff.
Dan, the randomizer has heard your voice and completely dismissed it by choosing one.
There we go.
So we actually go to season one.
Cool. Okay.
How many episodes have season one?
It must be 26. Is it the episode? Do you know the episode where Neelix gets his lungs removed? That's a good episode. I want that one.
I think there's
two
only
bucks as well. Is there 2 bucks?
15 episodes.
Is that it? Only 15?
Yeah. I guess they were trialing it. I just got to double check on that.
Yeah, it must be.
Just to see.
Oh no, there's 16, Tom, I'm getting. Though it might be including episode 1 and 2 together because it's a 2-parter.
I see,
So
I see.
There's 16, but it's a 2-parter.
So what are we rolling
I'll
for?
let you choose.
15 or 16?
Yeah, you choose. 15 or 16,
Yeah.
you choose.
Okay. I like the first episode, Caretaker.
Well, I'll do 16. I'm now going to roll 16.
Oh,
Is it 16 the last one?
Yeah.
learning curve.
Learning curve. Right, okay, hold on. Let me just get a synopsis for learning curve.
I do not remember this one.
Okay, Tuvok conducts a training session for Marquis personnel. Meanwhile, Voyager's bio-neural gel packs are mysteriously failing. Oh, I know this episode. This is a classic.
Yeah?
This is the one where Neelix infects the ship with cheese.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that's what happens. I think that's.
Get the cheese to the sick bay.
I think it's that one. I think it is. And I actually quite like if I remember the B plot or the A plot, whatever, of Tuvok and the Marquis thing. I quite like that because that's when Voyager was still trying to make like having this separate crew whole thing. They got rid of it a bit later, but I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So excellent.
Nice, that'd be good.
I'm happy with that one. Good. Okay, fantastic. Don't know who's going to be our secondary host. Sorry, our thirdly host. It'll either be Emma or Sassant. They're the ones we've not had yet.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly Sassant, though he's currently travelling at the moment, so maybe not. Don't know. We'll figure it out. So yeah, look forward to that, people. Thank you for listening into Warp Factor Unknown. I've been your host, Dan, and I've been joined by my co-host, Tom.
Pleasure to have been here, as usual.
Fantastic. And also been joined by our co-host, Jacob.
Thank you for having me. I'm fired, so I'll never see you again.
Yeah, you cost too much money.
That's it.
Today we talked about the Star Trek Picard episode Bounty from Season 3. Join us next time as we take another deep dive into the Star Trek universe and we discuss the Star Trek episode Learning Curve from Voyager. That's Season 1, Episode 16. Hopefully you watch along. If not, we'll have an amazing recap for you on this amazing universe. No spelling mistakes, no excessive
Commas. Yeah.
It'll be perfect. Until then, thank you for your continued support. If you'd like to contact us, please email us at warpfactorunknown@outlook.com. Again, it's warpfactorunknown@outlook.com. Obviously, leave comments on YouTube and Spotify and other places, which I definitely check every single one. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, likes, stars, sharers, I don't know, all that. You know that stuff that content creators say? Just do all that. Everything, just do that for me, okay? Take a bell or something, I don't know. I've started tangenting, I'm sorry. The music we use for this podcast is called Starfleet Command by Jeff Harvey.